I think it was about day 4 when I just reconsidered everything. They survive off of their camel, drinking blood. We're alienating ourselves from nature, and look at where we're at right now.
Hi, Hazen. Good afternoon.
Hey, Miwan. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. First thing, you've toured Australia, you've toured America, you've toured India, you've toured South Pacific. What makes this tour of East Africa different from all the others you've done so far?
Well, we've been filming Primal Survivor for over 10 years. Gosh, I think we've made well over 80 episodes. So we've gone all over the world. Hopefully with experience, everything keeps getting better and better and better. And I know for me, I get more and more conditions. And not to my liking, but it winds up being, keeps getting tougher and tougher and tougher, because that glass ceiling that I make for myself, if I can get through something that I can finally see the end of the light of the tunnel, I get tougher, I get more conditioned, I realize that I can do more and more. And so this latest series is just that. I was absolutely pushed to my limits. I think it was about day 4 when I just reconsidered everything, this whole entire expedition that has been in the works, being researched for well over 2 years by teams of people. And finally we made it happen. And I think it was about day 4 when I was just being so thrashed in the Lake Turkana area, and knowing that, wow, if I'm getting this tore up, this beat up, this thirsty, and this is just the beginning, I'm in over my head. But lo and behold, 4 months later, didn't think I'd do it. I got to our destination, the Serengeti. It was incredible. And then you think about the take home of just really understanding what my limitations are, and I'm that much more fully charged after a good rest to go, okay, what is next? But the latest right now is this series, Primal Survivor Extreme African Safari, which is something I'm very proud of. And not just me, but it's the film crew that was there with me in the trenches, through the sun, through the deserts, and we made this product for the world to see. We're all so proud of that.
Yeah, love it, love it. So it took 4 months to cross the 800 kilometers to get to the Serengeti. Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. So I know you met like a couple of tribes along the way. So 2 questions. The first one is, which of the tribes did you have the most fun with, that you just enjoyed their company? And the second one is, I know in each tribe there were like adventures you experienced with them. So which of the tribes did you have the most challenging adventure with?
Well, being out there and traveling and walking hundreds of miles, in that experience, I came across well over 30 different tribes, all speaking different languages. And they all had different lifestyles, because in each one of those places, there's different landscapes, and it requires different knowledge, different landscapes, different activities to be able to find ways to be able to feed their children, and thrive. So that was amazing. And you would see that in this series. But one of the groups that I was with that I was very fascinated by was the Hadza. So by the time I made it into Tanzania, Hadza are hunter and gatherer group. There are very few hunter and gatherer groups left in this world, even though every single human that's walking this planet right now originally came from hunter and gatherer groups. And so it's really very interesting to see that for me. And generally, those kind of people are so reliant on a really healthy ecosystem with a lot of biodiverse animals and plants that they can live off of. And generally in those places, they know where their food comes from. So even though they might be eating baboons every day, or deer, or whatever they are doing, there's more deer and more monkeys and more like that than anywhere else in the world, because they're creating an environment that fosters more food, fosters productivity. And I think the world needs more hunters and gatherers, believe it or not, more people living off of the landscape so they know where their food comes from. But every single one of these tribes was just an absolute honor to be with. When I was telling you I was struggling day 4 into this, the very beginning of this huge expedition I was about to embark on, it became desperate, understanding this landscape. No matter how much water you could carry with me, it was just never going to be enough. And I was fortunate enough to come across some signs of some people that were living in this landscape that just, it looked impossible to live in. It was completely inhospitable. Yet there were people that were living here. I wound up finding them, and they were the Gabra, and they live essentially, for them to be able to survive, how they survive is not by hunters and gatherer, because there's not a lot of wildlife there. They survive off of their camels, drinking blood of the camel, drinking the milk of the camel, eating camel. And this is a place that's just far too harsh for cattle to live, for goats to live. It's only camel, and their life depends on their relationship and understanding of how to keep camels alive. So I wound up coming across the Gabra. They're the ones that showed me how to find water. I lived with them for a couple of days, recovered, recuperated, and then they pointed me in the right direction as far as where the next group of people that I could see to point me further along the way to be able to get myself through the Rift Valleys. They're a spectacular group. You would see that in episode 1. And which is, oh, by the way, it's starting in November 22nd. You got to say that. Yeah.
So watch it. Exactly. I've seen it and I loved it. But
Oh,
I'll definitely
great.
watch it when it comes out. So piggybacking on off what you said about, humans needing to live like the hunter-gatherers, and you live off the grid. You built a self-sustaining, farm, your house. You literally eat off nature. Do you think humans, like the general humans as we are really out of touch, with nature? Because watching your show, I felt like I am so out of touch with nature. I don't even know what nature is anymore. In your experience, is that the case around the world?
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing this when we have this vocabulary, like we call ourselves modern humans. Well, we are becoming further and further removed from what we're supposed to be. We all come from hunters and gatherers. There's been hundreds of thousands of years of refinement of humans. We're all here because we've had this unique ability to communicate with nature. And now recently, I mean, for so many of us, this is the first generation ever where we haven't had to absolutely understand hand to mouth where our food comes from, understanding the names of the trees, knowing the birds that are passing through. And the way I know is, like I said, we are survivors because we had that ability to understand. We evolved that way, and now we're alienating ourselves from nature. And look at where we're at right now. It's the way we're living our lives is totally unsustainable. We're impacting the environment where our food comes from, where all of our animals that are supposed to be our friends and companions day and night, we're disregarding. And the effects are, look at how much depression is in the world right now, how many people are trying to find the meaning of life right now. And we need to get back to, it's not the old ways. We're just getting back to where we're supposed to live. And I think when I was on this expedition, walking hundreds of miles, I went easily into well over 30 different languages, different tribes. All of them had unique ways to live off of the environment. And I hope that in this show, people can see that, yeah, these people live very demanding lives, but they have a lot to teach us. And they're just teaching us what we forgot.
Any chance of coming to West Africa, because I'm in Nigeria, so any chance of coming to West Africa, come and tour Nigeria, so come and taste our own palm wine here too.
Please.
Any chance?
Well, I am open. I love your invite, because it's one of those things, just like everything, the more you know about it, the more you care about it. I devoted so much of my life to this experience in the Rift Valley. I realized once I was there, I just saw a speck of what is there. Now it's overwhelming, mind-boggling to know that there's this enormous continent of discovery, of adventure in all of Africa. It's huge. And it's what I love about it is there is no there is no one Africa, but at the same time, it is one Africa. When I went around, I couldn't have made this expedition without the assistance of these people, of these traditional living, of these tribes that were living off the land. I saw firsthand the care that people have for one another, where they care about their tribes, they care about their communities. That is their root of happiness. And I was able to be shown and pointed in the directions of other people that spoke different languages from them. They had different lifestyles, yet they considered them friends and allies. And they knew that if they pointed me into the company of their friends and families, that I would be taken care of. That is something that the entire world needs to learn about and be experienced. They need to experience that. And if they can't come to Africa themselves and experience that Ubuntu, that African alliance with one another, that care and humanity for your fellow man, well, then hopefully if they can't come see it themselves, maybe they can get glimpses of that in this latest series that we're so proud of.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It was really, really fun talking to you. I'm looking forward to watching it again because I've seen it, but I will watch it again. I loved the experience. It was good. You've really brought me close to nature. Just
right on.
So just the fun bit. You watch movies and TV shows or anime? Do you?
Yeah. Oh, me? I don't even have a TV.
Ooh, so you are really off the grid. Wow. Salute.
I'm just one example, and I'm trying to get better at what I do all the time. And but thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was fun talking to you. Definitely looking forward to it. And that's it. Thank you so much.
Great talking with you. Great seeing you. And let's cross paths again. See you.
Yes, definitely. Hopefully. Thank you, Hazen. Bye.
Ciao. Bye-bye.
Primal Survivor Extreme African Safari starts the 22nd of November on National Geographic.